Space has no objective significance.
In other words,
spatial characteristics
Absolute is only a form
have no
of
objective
perception.
significance in the absolute
Time
sense.
is other
Space
form
too
of the stream of consciousness.
perception.
Time
In
is
other words,
form of
space
stream
too
of consciousness.
is only a form of our
In
perception.
other words, space too is
Time is
once a
a
day
form
allow yourself
our
freedom
perception.
to dream.
Time is the primitive form of the stream of consciousness.
It occurred to me by intuition, and music was the driving force behind that intuition. My discovery was the
By
result
intuition,
of
and
musical
music was the driving force behind that
Time
intuition.
is no
It occurred to me by intuition. Music was the
My
driving
It is the
discovery was the
nature
result
of
by
of musical
intuition.
perception.
And music was the driving force behind
We can
My
gain ever
discovery
deeper
was
insight
the
into
result of
content by continually adding new experiences,
my discovery
partly
was the
innovating
result of
contradiction,
musical perception.
and bringing them into harmony with one another.
Time
In this interpretation of the notes of the real world are possibilities. From this arises the rhythmic characteristics. Space and spatial characteristics have no objective significance in the absolute sense. In other words, space, too, is only a form of our perception.
As our circle of knowledge expands, so does the circumference of darkness.
It occurred to me by
As our
intuition,
circle
and
of
music was the
knowledge
driving force
expands,
behind that
the
so
driving
is the
force
circumference
behind
of
that
darkness
intuition.
surrounding it.
My
as
discovery
our
was the
circle of
result
knowledge
of
expands,
musical
so
Music
does
was
the
the
circumference
driving
of
force
darkness
behind that
surrounding it.
intuition.
It
My
occurred to me by
discovery was the
intuition,
result
and
of
music was the
musical
driving force
perception.
behind that intuition. My discovery was the result of musical perception. Suppose an absolute isolated physical system, i.e. one not subject to external influences, reverts again to exactly the same state as it was in at some earlier instant. In that case, the same succession of states will be repeated over time, and the whole series of events will continue the cycle.
In that case, the same succession of states would be repeated over time, and the whole
same
series of
succession of
events
states
will
will be
continue
repeated
the
over
cycle.
time. And this whole
In that
series of
case,
events will
the same
constitute
succession of
a
states
cycle.
will be repeated over time.
In general,
The whole
such a
series of
system is
events
called
will
a clock.
constitute a cycle.
In general, such a system is called a clock.
In general, such a system is called a clock.
The mathematical fixing of time by measuring it is based upon two relations: earlier or later times and equal times. The nature of measurement may be indicated briefly as follows. Time is homogeneous, i.e. a single point of time can only be given by being specified individually. There is no inherent property arising from the general nature of time that may be ascribed to any one point, but not to any other, or every property logically derivable from these two fundamental relations belongs either to all points or to none.
Once a day, allow yourself the freedom to dream.
It is the nature of a real thing to be inexhaustible in content. We can gain an ever deeper insight into this content by continually adding new experiences, partly in apparent contradiction, and bringing them into harmony with one another. In this interpretation, things in the real world are approximate ideas. From this series arises the empirical character of all our knowledge of reality. It occurred to me by intuition. Music was the driving force behind that
It
intuition.
never ceased.
My discovery was the result of musical
Our
perception.
circle of knowledge expands.
As the progression of the
Since the
world
human mind first woke from slumber and was allowed to give itself free rein, it has never ceased to feel the profoundly mysterious nature of time consciousness, of the progression of the world in time, of the content. In general, such a system is called a clock.
From this arises the work of in general, such a system is called
The mathematical system of time, by measuring it, is based upon two relations, earlier or later times and equal time.
As our circle of knowledge expands, so does the circumference of darkness surround